What's up guys, it's Mike Sherrard. Welcome back to another video, and today I want to talk to you about the key principles I learned on the journey to becoming a millionaire before the age of 30. I got started at entrepreneurship in 24 and now I'm currently 28 years old, making multiple seven figures per year. And there's a number of key things that I learned along this journey that, to be honest, I wish somebody created a video like this for me. So what I'm going to do today is dive into the 7 things I learned along this journey that helped me catapult my business, get out of the rut of being in the trenches, wondering why I'm so stuck and always in a plateau, and skyrocketing my business, because over the last year, I over 10x'd my income. And it's by following these very key principles that I hope you take note of. All right, so the first one is one I learned many years ago, but I didn't truly apply until last year, which is the notion of the man who chases 2 rabbits catches none. So let me explain this. As entrepreneurs, driven, hungry, ambitious people, we always have this tendency to chase the shiny penny, or we see a new opportunity or a new business plan or a new project that we know we could absolutely crush it, knock it out of the park. But unfortunately, what happens is that as you start to dilute your focus and channel your energy across multiple different opportunities, you start to become less intentional and productive at the one opportunity that you should be focusing on. This goes back to the cliche saying of the average millionaire has 7 streams of income. The biggest problem is that the average millionaire had 1 stream of income to get them to become a millionaire, and then once they became a millionaire, they started investing their money into different resources in order to create 7 streams. So don't get caught up in that notion of having to have 7 streams of income in order to make 7 figures. You really need to dive into 1 stream of income, channel your energy, focus, and attention into 1 singular lane of focus, and by dominating that niche, that's what's going to allow you to explode your business. Now, the second thing is focusing on your zone of genius. Now, what I mean here is that a lot of people, and especially entrepreneurs, tend to become a jack of all trades and a master of none. And what I mean by that is they try to do everything because they know how to do it. For example, I use my own business where I know how to design ClickFunnels. I know how to do email marketing. I know how to write copy. I know how to run Facebook ads, Instagram ads, YouTube ads, Google ads. I do none of it. I did it in the beginning in order to hone my craft, learn my skill, but now I'm at the point where I outsource that to my own internal team who are the masters at their craft, and I focus on making business negotiations, bringing on new people to my team, creating content, leading with value, and building the overall business instead of focusing on the things that I know how to do but isn't worth my time. Because let me explain one simple principle here, which is calculating your hourly rate. So I calculated my hourly rate and found that just based on the amount of income I make to the amount of hours I spend, it's about $500 US per hour. Now, if it takes somebody $50 an hour to do funnel work for me, then I should not be doing that funnel work. If it takes $100 an hour for somebody to be managing my Facebook ads, I should not be doing that. So just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. And a lot of people get caught up in the weeds of designing things like Canva thumbnails and stuff that they could be outsourcing for $6 on Fiverr instead of focusing on their zone of genius, which is dominating their niche, building the business, moving the needle, and keeping the growth going. Number 3 is that consistency is king, with the caveat, as long as you're being consistent with the right things. So let me explain. I got started back on YouTube about 2 years ago in 2019, and I was putting out 3 videos a week every single week, but my channel was going nowhere. So I was being consistent, but I was being consistent with the wrong things because I didn't actually invest into learning how to optimize my YouTube videos. So even though I was being consistent, I wasn't moving the needle because I was being consistent with the wrong things. Whereas now that I know how to optimize videos, I know how to rank them, I know how to help others rank them, and now I can be consistent with making sure that the effort I put in is going to channel into results that are going to be correlated to that momentum. So make sure that, yes, while consistency is going to be king, make sure that you actually have a plan, a system, and a process in place to make sure that the effort that you're being consistent with is actually going to be the stuff that long-term can allow you to get to where you want to be. Because unfortunately, I've seen many situations where people have been consistent and got nowhere over the years because they were consistent with the wrong things. So take a step back and make sure that you're doing the right things and that you've actually invested in learning the skill set you need in order to make sure that what you're doing is yielding the results that you need. Number 4 is the notion of slowing down to speed up. Now, what I mean by this is a lot of people struggle with taking a step back. You always want to be in this growth mindset. You're always trying to be making steps forward, making progress. And a lot of people really struggle with the notion of regress or taking a step backwards. But let me explain something here that I think will help put it into perspective for you. So let's look at a restaurant. How does a restaurant take it to the next level? Well, usually what they would do is they would shut down for a couple of months, stop doing any business, renovate the restaurant, overhaul the menu, and then they would start to build that momentum again. So the same thing has to happen with your business at times, which is the notion of slowing down to speed up. Yes, that restaurant is going to feel the pain of not having any business for those 2-3 months that they're doing the renovation. However, what comes on the other side of that is massive growth that's going to break them through that plateau. So where I struggled in the beginning is I was always focusing on building momentum and I didn't want to take a single step back. But once I started every 6 months taking a step back a week or two to just dive into my business, thinking about what I'm doing, thinking about what I need to do in order to make leaps and bounds going forward, that's when I really started to see the growth instead of constantly hitting a plateau every 6 months. Now, number 5 is a really interesting one, and I'm going to break this down for you, which is entrepreneurs constantly saying that they get distracted easily. I see all kinds of entrepreneurs that play the blame game. I've got ADD, ADHD, I've got, whatever. They're always finding an excuse for something. They don't have any of that. The reality of it is that as driven entrepreneurs that are creatives, that our mind is constantly going, we're constantly thinking about things. So yes, if you're not focused, it can be easy to get distracted. But the reality of it is that you're only going to get distracted if what you're working on is not bigger than the distraction. So what you need to think about is, what is your why? I know it sounds cliche, but when you truly have an understanding as to what you're doing this for, what is your big, hairy, audacious goal? Why are you doing this in the first place? Is it your family? Is it impact? Is it legacy? And once you have a why that's strong enough, you will not get distracted. Number 6 is a questionable one, and I wasn't sure that I was gonna put this in there, but I'm really glad that I am, which is the sacrifices are going to be worth it all, with a bit of a caveat. So over the last 4 years, I've been working basically 4 a.m. until midnight, 7 days a week, every single day. I've taken almost no time off. I do get up at 4 a.m. every day. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see me waking up at 4, going to the gym at 5, 7 days a week, working until 11 or 12 at night every single day. And I'm missing times. It's going to be a gorgeous day outside today where all my friends are probably going to be on patios and I'm going to be inside probably doing content or analyzing businesses or creating new proposals or something like that. And it can be tough. It can be really mentally tough when you know that you're constantly missing out on things. And that leads into the caveat that I wanted to say is making sure that you're not missing out on things that are actually important just to grind. And what I mean by that is, unfortunately, I missed out on some friends' 30th birthdays, 25th birthday parties, and baby showers and other things that were actually really important because I felt like I couldn't break momentum and I couldn't take a single day off. Otherwise, it was just gonna tarnish my business and break my momentum. And what you realize is business is very much like fitness in the sense of if you have one bad meal, one unhealthy meal, it's not gonna change your physique whatsoever. However, if you eat bad meals every single day for months at a time, then yes, of course, you're going to get fat and you're going to get out of shape, and that is going to have a negative repercussion on you. But the same thing goes with business, is that if you take one day off to enjoy something that is actually important, it's not going to affect your long-term growth or hitting your goals whatsoever. Now, again, make sure that you're actually only doing this for things that matter and not just going out because it's beautiful out and all your friends are out and you want to go out. But if it's actually something that you would look back like I am doing now and thinking, damn, I really wish I would have went there, then you probably should think about taking a day off or an evening off and just going out and enjoying yourself. Now, number 7 to wrap this up is something that you'll likely have heard about before, but I'm going to again throw a bit of a caveat in there, which is surrounding yourself with people that have been there, done that, are ahead of you in order to help you look at what's possible, learn from their mistakes, and help you build that momentum. But the caveat is that you shouldn't get rid of people that aren't on this same journey. So let me explain. For example, I surround myself primarily with entrepreneurs that are absolutely crushing it and they think even bigger than I do. So when I share with them my goals, they push me to think even bigger, and that makes a world of a difference. But I still have friends that work 9 to 5s, and they inspire me as well because they've been there from the beginning, and they support me, and they understand that I live a different lifestyle where I'm working all the time and that we might not see each other as much, and that's the sacrifice that you make. But it's important to have those friends that have been along there since day one because they know you better than anybody, and they usually care more about you as well because they've been there from the start. So make sure that you are surrounding yourself with people that are ahead of you, but also make sure that you have friends that have been there and just understand you. They don't need to push you, they don't need to motivate or inspire you, but they need to be there because sometimes you do need a moment to just go hang out with the guys or the girls or family or friends, and you want to make sure that you're not just getting rid of those people from your life because you're on a different path than them. So those are 7 principles that have made a massive difference in my business, and I've learned them over the years. And now that I'm here, I'm really reflecting on what really made that big difference and what's allowed me to become a millionaire before the age of 30. So I'd love to know what you think, if you've got any lessons or if you've got a big takeaway from this video, because I just want to inspire you and see you crush it as well, because we can all get here. I started with nothing, and if you are too, I want to be living proof that you can make it happen. So drop a comment, let me know what you think below. I respond to every single comment on my videos. And again, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you next time.